TikTok, and Facebook. This is Universal Sister Anne of God, and I want to share with us topic about reasonableness in every relationship, right? To be reasonable in whatever one does is very vital. So, what is that thing you're engaged in at this point in time? Whatever it is, but specifically, say marriage, serious relationship, and every other thing you are doing calls for right thinking. Even on the spiritual aspect, it's important that people not make decisions or take decisions when they are anxious, when they are depressed or troubled about any situation whatsoever. But right now, we are dwelling on marriage or serious relationships that are on their way to being legalized. Okay? Yeah, so we think, talk about relationship every now and then and just see it as things that people just go in. But we need to realize something, friends. It's better that these days and times we concentrate on serious relationships because all we have these days are just living, trying, trial and error relationships. You're practicing marriage. People don't practice marriage. It's either you are in it or you are not in it. So that's why when people make mistakes, we don't count them for anything. But if it's in a serious marital relationship, then we know we are talking good business, you know. So I specifically would always come from that angle of talking about legal things. There's no need wasting my time talking about a boyfriend and girlfriend relationship that we don't even know where they are heading to. So I'm a realist, that's what I'm trying to say. And I discuss realistic issues, right? So let's talk reality in marriage. Why is it that each time, especially the guy in the relationship, the man in the marriage, makes a mistake, the next thing the woman does is to pick her bag and baggages and leave? Hi, Rachel Mokabi on TikTok. You just see her, oh, I'm done with this. It's up to my neck. This, you're never gonna do this. You're never gonna change. You're never gonna that. And then they pack their things and leave. I'm asking, or I'm just thinking, like, was she praying for the guy to misbehave or mess up? So once that happens, she packs her things and walks out. And tomorrow, when someone else walks in, she'll be like, oh, man snatcher. Sometimes our women can be so funny. And well, I just want to thank God that I'm not in that boat. Who knows? I could have been calling people man snatchers. But as someone singly dedicated, I am not looking at the marriage aspect. But sometimes it seems as if when someone is not in something, they tend to have a third thought about those things. It's not as if I'm trying to say that I know better. Hi, on TikTok than women. I know it can be painful, it can be terrible when your husband messes up, but I want to wonder along the lines, like, if you weren't expecting such a situation, why don't you take a chill pill, as we say these days? Think through whatever you want to do, whatever decision you want to take must not be made in anger. Even spiritually, we are taught that when you are troubled or have an issue to really seriously tackle, and that puts you off even living, relax and just wait a while. Wait out what has happened before you make a final decision. Even when you want to leave a job too, or do anything important, don't rush into making any decision in life. That puts you on a hold, sort of. It can jeopardize your further plans. Don't let someone who has messed up also mess up your own life in the process. You just can't afford that. Okay? You can't afford letting someone else mess up your life. Okay? So once again, this is Universal Sister Anne of God. While we're at it, if you're on Facebook, please like the video, share your comments, share it to other people, subscribe on TikTok, follow me, and send me stars if you will. YouTube, same. You can subscribe. Subscribing to social media platforms of content creators. Hi, Chebo, goes a long way in encouraging content creators. And another thing is to like the video, especially on TikTok. You just tap your phones, and that is simply the like. You know, it takes a lot for someone to have the guts or the courage to think of a topic to come and share. As we know on social media, people are just doing whatsoever, getting naked, just blatantly misbehaving, all in the name of making content. Whereas someone was asking, when people take their time to create content and do stuff, you don't find people coming around to look at those things. You know, sometimes they just utilize the aspect of criticizing the person. Oh, what's this you're doing? Blah, blah, blah. But at the end of the day, you are on such a page. Maybe I shouldn't be joining those guys too, you know, to join such commenting. Let's go for real content, friends. That's what I believe social media should be about. Going for real things where we can learn for life, especially those who are not married. Want you guys to learn because I shan't be getting married. Let's learn together. Let's learn together. So the major thing we want to look at today is why is it that women chicken out of a relationship the slightest opportunity that comes up? Hi, I'm Inata. Like the video on TikTok, I beg your pardon. YouTube, like the video. Facebook, same wise, whatever. Yes, why do women chicken out easily? Why do they just up and leave? Why do they get so scandalized when someone in their life misbehaves? Why do they get so overwhelmingly carried away by negativity, especially in marriage and serious relationships that lead to marriage? No one is perfect. The guy you are marrying or want to get married to seriously has never told you he is perfect. And at no point in time when you first met the person did the person say he had never been in a relationship. Even if they hadn't been, there are other women in their lives who also matter to them. Those people could serve as their loved ones, their mothers, their sisters, their former girlfriends, just schoolmates, but they've had likenesses for each other. Things happen. So people reconnect, they meet up, and situations arise. I personally do not think that once you get wind of what has happened, the solution is to pack your things and leave. No one makes the right decision when they are angry. And no one will ever make the right decision when in anger. When you're confused, when you're anxious, you're depressed, you're practically troubled. So for one thing, what I have learned is that people, especially women who up and leave at that point in time, they are blatantly telling people that they cannot make real life decisions for themselves. Because packing and leaving cannot solve that situation. it will not dampen the feelings you have for the person, the love or whatever. It will not. Rather, it will increase your anxiousness. Whereas you haven't found the real thing that causes the problem. It is when some people leave that they begin to wonder whatever went wrong, and you spend the remainder of your life trying to ascertain what went wrong in your relationships. Wouldn't it have been better for you to have stayed back after that incident for 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 1 month, 6 months to finalize? And you find out in such relationships or marriages, the people are never at rest. They are always looking for ways to come back together. And in that process, destabilizing other people who may want to link up with they or their partners. So, for starters, women, I want to encourage us, whether it's a real marriage, something that is leading to marriage, do not just pack and leave because a man messed up or misbehaved. If you are leaving at that point, it means you're not thinking straight. And everybody will know that immediately. Stay back for a while to understand what has actually gone wrong. As you try to find out these things and put 2 and 2 together, you will eventually realize that the person did not just do that to spite you. It was simply that life happened. No one is perfect. I maintain that statement. And I am not saying that statement to exonerate anybody, the man nor the woman. If you really understand life, you know that life is not a straight course or a highway that you just speed on and get to your destination. Life has many potholes, side tracks, diversions, and so on and so forth. For that reason, you should stay and find out what happened. And in the process, you can also forgive the perpetrator. If you go the route of being the innocentia in the relationship, you'll find out that could lead to certain mistakes on your part in future, because you have this thing you are holding on to. And if you're going to stay and not just run away, there are also ways to go about it. If you have decided to stay after putting 2 and 2 together, say after a month, then that means you must surely or certainly wish to forgive the perpetrator. Because when you forgive and let go, then your relationship returns to normal or becomes totally new, because both partners now understand their shortcomings and how they can both help each other grow. Growth is really important in every relationship, and that means that if anything goes wrong in the relationship, the 2 people must be ready and willing to patch things up. Not for one party to take the shouting galore, ho, 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 or, start writing the things the other person may have done. So when issues come up, we go about reminding them, hey, that was how you did this, that was how this happened, you did this, you did that, you did this. Ouch. Nagging spoils relationships. Even though I am one who will not be getting married, I have friends, we talk, we deal with each other, and I find myself in a situation whereby if I'm in a friendship with someone, certain situations arise, I'm not comfortable with it. So it means it has to be talked about. So there's this person who is a friend. We talk on the phone and stuff like that. I find out that when I have to deal with a person, there's always this shouting match about what's a flash goal on TikTok. Well, ouch, do I need to look at that? They say, view, you've got a flash goal. What's a flash goal? So I'm on TikTok, I'm on YouTube and Facebook at the same time. That's how I try to utilize the small time that I have. Okay, like the video, like the video. 3 gifters send rose to your life in 15 minutes. Achieve this optional goal to win a 24-hour life. I have this kind of misunderstanding, and a few days go by and I have to call again, and I'm like, after the whole introductory stuff, why is it that we always end up quarreling each time we talk, you know? And the person's like, but right now we are not quarreling since we're having this conversation. I'm saying, okay. Free TikTok coins, link in bio. Just got the #1 gift badge. Alright, that's good. So the person says, we aren't quarreling now that we're talking. I say, yeah, that's good. But this is a sort of way to keep reminding yourselves, for those who are in a relationship or marriage, when something comes up, no matter how small, and you're having a conversation, use the opportunity to chip it in. I've noticed that this also happens when we are doing this. There are ways to that. It doesn't have to be kept for a special time, because many times men are not really always ready to have one specially arranged communication time. So for them, use little baits, throw baits at them which they can easily catch. And that way you can talk with your man, your husband or whomever. I was thinking some days ago, after hearing the case of a man and a woman who were supposed to be preparing to get married. You know, they've had some issues, and I was wondering how it is that the woman seems not to be able to hold the strings, because in every relationship, be it marriage or otherwise, it is the woman who has the power to pull the strings. Sort of, you don't pull the strings by trying to be too emboldened with the man or trying to tell him that you know better than him. Some women who are so quiet that you see outside that don't even talk are the ones who pull the strings in their marriages and relationship. But you see them as nobodies, they don't talk. It's not when you stand and raise your shoulder up to the man's level that the man can begin to eat from your palm. Without even raising your shoulder or making a single sound, a man, be it your husband or whomever, can eat from your palm without him even knowing, or even if he knows, he won't see it as anything, because he knows he's with a good woman who understands him and wants to live life with him. You know, we were talking about not just packing and leaving, because that is so childish in any relationship. Oh, you've done this, you had this, you did that. There is always that you did this, you had this, you did that, even when it's not in a marital relationship. So women should understand this and know that they are in a long haul when they decide to go into marriage. As a worst case scenario, especially in the Western world, where it's all about feminism and all that. Oh, the man does this, a woman can also do that. I wish women everywhere around the world will realize that it is not even about raising your voice to a man. All of these things I am beginning to appreciate and learn, even if I will end up not getting married. But I would be a counselor too and stuff. So I love to learn things, picking knowledge here and there. And I've been thinking about the situation with men and women marriage. This happens, you run away. I don't want to be on men today, because I realize that women, you are in charge. It said that the man is the head, but the woman is the neck that carries the head. So without the neck, how can the head stand? You hold a major position, like you are the highest shareholder in any relationship. Let women realize this and change. Just switch a bit, shift, and you will see the difference in the now and the before. You know, if you truly love someone, you'll be able to bear whatever comes from such a relationship. Love is the key, and you can also grow to love someone. You mustn't have this haywire feeling, high fever, but when I see him, there's this butterfly that jumps before you know that you can love someone. Respect alone goes a long way in building a love relationship. If the guy has got like even 40% of what you need, it's an okay. You are the one who has to make up for the remainder of the percentage that you need, because you're the one that is looking out for those traits and characteristics in a man. And you have the power. You've got the power. Oh. There's this wonderful advert we used to have from Guinness. So women, you've got the power to make the change or switch. Although there's a serenity prayer that says God should give you the ability to be able to change what you can, know what you cannot change, and stick to that, and then you know the difference between being able to change something and not being able to change something. That way you can have peace of mind in your relationship, especially your marital relationship. Don't go listening to other women. Every relationship is unique to its core. How your friend's man behaves or how their relationship flows will never be how yours does, because everybody has their own unique personality. Psychologically, you can find out your personality. These are the things that we need to start working on. When you meet someone, don't just jump into the boat because of how you feel. Let them be your friends first, and then you can go from there, working out how things will go when you eventually come together. Know your personality. It's there on Google. Just type personality test. It will pop up. You run the test. They ask 7 questions, and it's not like an examination. You know your personality traits. You know how that reflects on you spiritually and otherwise. You try to find out your partner's own too, all in the process of being friends. There's no need going into marriage when you do not understand the other person, because eventually it's not actually marriage. It's gonna end up being a trial and error situation, which is something no one needs to waste their time on, trying out marriage. Wow, you end up hurting yourself. There is no trial and error in marriage. It's either it's a straight run or it's not. Okay, so to avoid all these whole marital issues, the hiccups, the shouting bouts, the physicalities involved, you can all save yourself the hassles. If it's never gonna work, don't begin it. So at the end of the day, the person doesn't do one thing and then you are leaving to start life all over. And it's not just easy to start life all over again after one relationship. And it's, hi Jide on TikTok. I really feel for women, One relationship, number 1, relationship number 2, relationship number 3, number 4, number 5, and so on and so forth. Men, it's really easy for men to just always switch roles. But the makeup of a woman causes a destabilization when a woman keeps jumping or leaving one relationship to the other just to keep finding out whether they will get the right person. There is no right person anywhere. It's just for you to work on it when you first meet someone. It's either it's working or it's not. So if it doesn't work, end it right there so you don't end up putting your heart and your body there and tomorrow you feel used. You will always feel used. I've come to realize that because you rush into everything that is available in such a friendship. Let me tell you a secret, women who are dating. You can safeguard your dignity as a woman and never feel used when you do not get into the sex situation. Hold your body. Perchance, even if you're not totally sure yet about the relationship, you can still keep your other friends you have outside. You're even safer doing whatever with them and not with this new person until you are sure. Because eventually, when you jump into what you're not supposed to jump into with this person, and tomorrow you're walking out, you most definitely will feel used, and actually you have been used because you gave the person the opportunity, or you made yourself too vulnerable. You don't need to get to be vulnerable in a relationship that is just 3 months old or wherever. I'm not saying that you shouldn't be open. There's a difference between openness and vulnerability. Every strong, rich relationship needs vulnerability to stay intact. By that I mean that having known this person and you're sure about where you're heading, you can let them know certain things about you. Whereas being open in the situation of just meeting someone is just to be you, being yourself. Joke, play, laugh, and just be straight, So that's the difference. With all these things, when we put them in place, there won't be the popping in and popping out of the woman, because most times it's the woman who leaves, especially when they haven't really legalized such a relationship. So the women, you have the power to make or mar a relationship. Know that and use that power positively to your benefit, your good, your growth, your development, instead of to your downfall. Let's stop the drama of popping in. Oh, I'm leaving. You can make good decisions in anger. Remember that. And always stay calm no matter what happens. I want to try to recall, or not necessarily recall, or try to create a scenario in my head. Let's say I come and I'm with someone, and then we're in this relationship that could lead to marriage, and something happens. I'm trying to wonder, even though sometimes I know what I can do as someone who loves people, I think I would want to just pause a while, get in, sit down, and just be me. Actually, I like to want to be myself in every friendship and stuff like that. But many people pretend. So see another place where the problems begin. Some women like to pretend, and I don't just know why. Why do you need to pretend with a man? Because eventually he will find out the real you, and it becomes embarrassing. Just be you. And I wouldn't want to let someone else's mess stress me, really. Another issue, women practically nowadays want to possess a man. I thought it used to be the other way around. You hear women say, my man. You're calling someone who is not even married to you your man. Even if the guy was married to you, we say 1 + 1 equals 1. There is never going to be a time, whether a man and a woman stay for 60 years, that they will truly and fully be one, because their personalities will always differ. Some people have said that marriage is a school. You continue to learn one another. It will never come to a time that you would totally understand another human being, much less someone from another gender. The gender differences are great. Before you talk about your upbringing, education, parental influence, friends all around, ideologies, and so on and so forth. It will never come to much that a man you're married to is your man. No, he is his own person altogether, and you are yours. What simply happens is understanding. This is understanding. This is the man, this is the woman. When there's this understanding, a bridge, it keeps two of you up there where you don't get to find yourself in the waters of troubles. A woman can do anything to say they're keeping a man. No, a man will decide to stay. It's not how much you shower so much love on him, the gifts you buy, and blah blah blah. Money cannot buy love. Just be you. That's what I try to do in my simple friendship and all that. Although one is learning and keeping, that stance afloat. But there's always the right thoughts for you if you want to think it on the way forward. There's no need to go ballistic. There's no need to go haywire or even the route of spirituality for African women that tends to switch to think they can have a way to hold onto a man. You do that at your own detriment, African folk, women. And nowadays, the whole Odogurism, they have this whole agenda of the Odogu man. They call a man Odogu when he has so much money. I think that topic, I have that too. I was going to talk about it. It's tied to this particular topic. What was I going to discuss there? I like to write some topics when they come to my head. I was going to talk about something which I actually gave a topic, or the name rather, a tag. I can't find it. It's always written somewhere. Somewhere. Conversations. I want to try to remember that topic. Why it is that there's this agenda women are creating that is just about getting the rich man to see them, to notice them, and for them to carry the rich man along with them. It's this agenda of just spotting the right Odogu man and hanging on to him because he has so much money. He's wealthy, possesses all the kinds of traits a woman desires. There's that agenda with women, especially in in the academia. When we talk about the West, we're talking about developed nations. But here you say the South, we're talking about underdeveloped nations or developing nations. So this whole agenda of Odogu is more or less that of the South, developing and underdeveloped nations. Because in the Western world, women know that they have to work to fend for themselves, even though we still have about 25% of women in the West who still have that backward mentality that it has to be about the amount of money the man has in his bank account, as opposed to them working hard to earn a living to support the man. Point of correction, the Odogu man who has really worked for his money prefers to have an independent woman as his wife, or counterpart, because he wants to grow along those lines, not just for a woman to sit at home, eat, relax, and just think that since she's the woman, everything goes. And there's another agenda with women too, more or less on the pregnancy aspect. Women tend to say that pregnancy should or would make them not able to walk well, that for the duration of being pregnant for 9 months, the woman should just rest, relax, while the man continues, the breadwinning thing. Is that true? Is that correct? Pregnancy is not a terminal disease. For some women, actually, those are the most boisterous time of their lives. They have so much zeal and energy for things, whereas for some, we would give it to them that the hormonal stuff changes life practically for them, but even if the hormone, you shouldn't let the hormone just sweep you off your feet. At the end of the day, it's all about creating a balance. So there's this unity in your relationship, Just do something but busy while you're pregnant. Make the man happy that you still want to contribute, even though you were kind of undisposed or indisposed because of the way the hormone makes life, crazy for you. So there are so many agendas with women in the South these days. And another agenda is polygamy. We have the issue going around of Regina Daniels married to a man who already has 5 wives, and many African women don't mind. I saw one on Facebook where they were asking her, can you date a married man? Yes, I can. Even if the wife finds out, of course, let her go and talk to her husband. How do you want to play second fiddle, for heaven's sake? As beautiful and well packaged as you are, you play second fiddle. No, woman. You have too much capabilities to let that happen to you. 6 wives and has another baby mama. Well, personally, if they ask me to marry that guy, me that is very selective with men, I look at your face like this. Thank God I'm not married, because I think I would have so many defaults. I like to select, like if I meet a guy, I'm looking at you from head to toe. I want to see how your fingers are. Like I want every person to play the piano, because your fingers have to be in a certain way, the way you carry yourself, your mannerisms, and I'm just too selective. Thank God God called me on another line. But in all of these things, we have to be realistic. As selective as I used to be, now I know better. I can have any kind of friend nowadays, not looking at how their bodies are, whether they are pot belly, the stuffs like that. That's really being real, because that's not what love is actually. Well arranged man, symmetrical, and so on and so forth. So these are the things we really need to watch out for, so our relationships, marriages can last, beyond all reasonable doubt. So women, let's stop. I'm in it with the women. I like to say women, let our women realize that leaving when something happens is not the solution. The solution is always in the midst of everything from the very beginning to have this time out to share. Remember, men cannot afford sitting down for 1 hour to listen to you pour out all that is in your heart. They like small, small chunks coming at them from time to time. Note that. Note that. You know, and it's not about being bossy that will keep a man around you. You may not be bossy, but you can have a man eating right out of your palm. Women can do it. Try to be nice, try to be sweet, try to be available no matter what. I see some women in movies, you go to work, oh, I'm tired. And I'll be thinking, you are tired, we understand, but loving someone does not take any. Lie down there for him to love you, to just, you will end up benefiting from it. He can give you a massage even. Loving you is not gonna make you more tired. Women, he will love you, he will care for you even while you lie down there and doze. Just let him. Sweet things really touch big men, hard men. You will break them down by being sweet for them. It's very easy. I learned another one. They say the way a woman talks, even if the man shouts, just maintain the balance of your voice. He will shout and shout, and then he will calm down when he realizes that I'm busy shouting. This person is not even shouting. It's a learning process. It will go a long way in strengthening your relationships and marriages. Cook for him. How on earth can you not cook for him? That way you're nurturing your man, you're caring for him, you're loving your family members. From time to time, go out of your way to do something sweet for him. Be there, be there, be there, be there. Let your work not prevent you from being there for him. Women are created. We're created in that way. When women begin to go another way, you're going off track. Women naturally are nurturers. If you're not a nurturer, there is a problem and you need to work on yourself. Men are big babies. So there are ways to really babysit them that will go well for two of you. It's a pity when relationships break down and you start all over again. I like to make gestures. I'm just holding a lipstick. I wondered why I was holding a lipstick. Instead of rushing through applying a lipstick here. Being with a man could be like just that kind of thing. Play with him, more or less. He will enjoy you and you will enjoy him. And your relationship will stay intact. And people will wonder, what does she have over him? Simple gestures, natural things. It's not even about the natural traits of the body parts. His sex doesn't keep a man. He can get it anywhere. It's natural things that keep them. The way you are homely, the way you accommodate him, your sweetness, your aura around him. It gets to him, the aura. An aura is something you can't place your hands on. It's just there, like the air that we breathe, the way you carry yourself, the way you love his family and people. All of these are just natural things, not assets, not big boobs, not BBL. Yeah. But some women think it's about the BBL. And that thing is unnatural. You know, men don't love unnatural things. They could tell you to do it for fun, for flashiness or whatever. But at the end of the day, they simply love simple things like children. So make out time to be with your person, your personal person. Your man should be your personal person. Your one and only. The one you can always cook that special meal for. The one you can take his permission from your job to be with, to care for. And he will never find that such care in another woman. All the days of his life, he will remember. But you can tame them, is all we're saying. Lovingly tame. So that's what we're about. Spread the good news, women. Once again, you've been hearing the voice of Universal Sister Anne. Subscribe on TikTok, YouTube. Follow on Facebook. We are on this rampage of follow to follow. Content creators are always talking follow to follow. Okay, so it's been wonderful talking this matter. I hope you guys will tell me in the comment section what you think, especially the women. Let's talk to ourselves. Are you saying ha 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 ha? Do you know ha ha ha? It's not about what we know. We're talking love, we're talking life, we're talking reality, we're talking human experience. So ask your grandmothers, your great-grandmothers, your mothers how they do it. 60 years, 70 years, 50, 40, being married. I've been a juju. In Nigerian pidgin, they will ask you, na juju. No be juju. It's just simplicity. It's just being a woman. Hi, Beth. A woman is gentle. A woman is loving. A woman is dignified. A woman is care personified. Let's go all out to show our love to our loved ones and everyone around us so our world can become a better place. Alright, we shall part ways to return soonest. God bless you. It's midweek. Enjoy and be good. Ciao on TikTok. Thanks to all who joined on TikTok. God bless you. Even though you didn't like the video, maybe next time you're gonna like it. Alright. Stay well. Bye. Namaste. The namaste. TikTok is going. Facebook, come and go. TikTok is taking a while. Now for YouTube. YouTube, Bye bye.